Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. And how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
My name's Glenn. I'm Louise. Yeah.
Glenn?
Yeah. Hey, I've got a check for you.
Okay.
I'm good that you're here. It's in my vehicle though, so we're
okay.
Yeah.
We'll get it on the way.
So
What
we're
happened with your son? I never heard from him again.
okay. He's on vacation right now.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
He's
we
back holiday
exchanged
Monday.
some Emails.
Back holiday Monday. So anyway,
Oh, okay.
forget that for now
I'm
though.
away for the weekend.
Yep.
Too, so that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't had either.
Hello, Desiree. My name is Glenn. Yeah, yeah.
How are you?
Hey, welcome aboard. I'm fine, thanks. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah. And who's this big tall guy in the red here? My name's Glenn. Daniel. Oh yeah, somebody said you're Daniel. Okay. Okay. Meet and greet. So, I've got at least a gallon of sunscreen on, probably more than I've worn in 5 years combined now, but I just thought I better get a paint roller and just pour it on. Yeah, pour it on. Pour it on. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I was coming here and I'm like, am I in the right place? I couldn't find anybody.
Right, there was no designated meeting place, starting place, so that's, but you know, Marina was here and Mike was here, and last time we went we had both Mikes, you know, Mike from Delphina Roofing, that maybe you don't know if you haven't been around long enough, and then the other Mike,
Glenn,
the contractor, yeah.
I guess you're our captain. Is that what this means?
Well, he's got me on Mike here, so he said just do your thing, meet and greet, and he's just going to record the whole thing and video the whole thing, regardless of my antics. Yeah, yeah.
Yikes.
So don't feel bad now. If
I will.
this wasn't
No,
a setup or anything. I wasn't sneaking up. He's just.
Oh yeah, by the way, I'm just...
Yeah, it's too nice to be indoors anyway. So what a day was picked for this, eh?
Now, who is that over there? Is that
Who are we talking
on the
about?
camera there?
This guy?
Is it?
That's Marino.
It's all
Yeah.
the shades on.
Yeah, Mr. Video, but just ignore him.
Shoes. Look at the sneakers.
Yeah. Silly shoes. Yeah. I know you could do that with.
You gotta videotape your shoes.
Yeah, I know you can do that with socks, but I've never done that. I've never seen that done with shoes before, unless somebody is really like, you know, lost it. Yeah. Okay.
Nobody's on time.
Right. How many are we? Does anybody know in total?
11.
So do we get two boats? Because we can't have a race with one boat.
No, right?
What do we do? Do we pick on some power boater and say, you better get a head start because we're coming on full blast?
The fastest.
No, I think the only thing we're gonna have to race out there is like an anchored
You can be the
tanker.
designated.
Aw, that's no fun. That's not enough fun. They'll just have to screen the anchor then and say, this guy, we're gaining, we're gaining, we're gaining, we're gaining. Let's have some fun and excitement out there. Totally. Totally.
That's a great hat for this.
Yeah.
15 years covered.
Well, I learned a long time ago the hard way. When you're on a long journey and the sun's setting behind you, ouch.
Yeah,
And I promised myself I'll never do that again.
I've gone some 70, but I did so fast I'm not sure if I really got it on.
Right. So there's more there. I don't. That's 90 even. No, that's 30. Sorry. 30. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Well, what a great day to be outdoors and not inside, eh? I'd be whining and complaining if it was an indoor day, just doing our usual lunch thing. So, can I do an intro here? My name is Glenn, and I'm with BNI Dynamo. And I just thought, well, somebody had a great thought. Let's, instead of doing our usual lunch meeting on a Wednesday here in Port Moody, being a little too serious and businesslike, let's bring it outdoors. And this has been done before. We're going to get into a Voyageur canoe, just like the guys who went after the beaver pelts and all that stuff a couple hundred years ago and sold to the Hudson's Bay. So we're in for a real treat, those who haven't been here before. And I can't wait to get on the water too. So stay with us and hang on tight.
You can bring some stuff.
What a good idea.
Yeah, it's my custom seat.
A seat softener.
Well, I've got that and like back support. I got lower back seat a little bit.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. You can lean back, yeah. Because these things weren't meant for comfort, that's for sure. Well, what are we hoping for today, ladies?
Well, I can't. My daughter did them, and I tried taking it all off, but I can't even take it off.
We're gonna need it to go into this wind.
There's like 5 layers, and then sparkles on top of it.
We should get some little. We should get
I just wanted lights. I know it's so hot.
Well, at least there's a breeze, and thank goodness for that, because it was forecast to be.
On the boat.
It was forecasted. Well, we're going to have to make some wind. Okay, we're going to have to move that boat and make some headwind.
We're going with the wind.
We can go across it. Yep.
As long as we go with the breeze both ways.
I don't care if it gets us.
Well, let's plan on some zigzags then, and a little bit of we got to find something to race, even a duck. A duck.
guy at my sister-in-law's wedding who
I got.
No, you could dive in and swim and
Well,
race.
no. I would go right to the bottom in about 30 seconds. So, and then there'd be a 911 and a rescue operation, and that. Who wants that? Because that would.
we're out there for free.
Yeah.
We sailed
Started out a little crazy.
Yeah. Hi. Here's our captain, eh?
Yeah, that's
great.
right. Well,
Good. Good to see you again.
I guess Voyageur.
Yeah.
So here these guys are doing. They're inspecting everybody's
We're
boat.
missing. I know one. Lucy's not showing up. So
Inspecting the boat.
The RCMP.
In the black, they're going through every boat. That's what was the
Are they
delay.
looking for
I was here.
Okay.
I was here at 3:15. They went through every aspect.
What are they looking for?
They're looking they're looking for make sure your liability insurance is up to date, making sure you've got all the safety stuff.
And the contraband is well hidden.
Oh yeah, well I had to stash the cocaine.
Okay. Good. Good job, man. Good job.
They're like,
You know the old hollowed out.
Yeah.
paddle?
Yep. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
Dawn's like, is this
We got to maintain a high sense of humor here, people. Let's not get too serious this afternoon, no matter what it takes, no matter what it comes to. Even if somebody goes overboard, keep it funny, okay?
Let me get started.
Do it, and even if it's me,
Except for it's me. Just
you
get me
promise?
back on the boat.
If it's me overboard, keep it funny.
Okay.
Just make a joke of it and don't get serious at all.
Well, then we'll just have to make
Yeah, just have a good laugh. So I'm hoping for more than one craft, but we could always grab a couple of people, couldn't we? And just
Well,
a
thanks.
couple of people out of the restaurant, as long as we had got enough for 2 boats.
Do you think so?
Question for you,
Sure,
Skipper.
absolutely.
Do we have more than one boat today?
I'm the gouvernail actually. The gouvernail is
Okay.
the person in the stern, and I'm
French?
yes it is.
Can you say it French?
Gouvernail. That's it.
Vermont?
Oh, whatever.
Okay, thanks for spinning that. But one boat or 2 today?
One.
Ouch! No race today.
No, because
One
it's only
boat.
14.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, so now we're on a mission. We got to find a duck in the water, a freighter in the water, a speedboat, a sailboat, anything, and then say, bring it on, right?
I'd say we throw you in to swim and we paddle.
No, that wouldn't be a race. I'd go right to the sandy bottom or the muddy bottom. Yeah,
I think this is
yeah.
what it's gonna be.
Well, it's a setup.
Oh, sorry,
Marino's videoing everything, and you might not know it, but you're on candid camera, so to speak. So you can do anything silly or otherwise. But somebody said, holy, you know what, Lucy's not here yet. And
well, I made the mistake.
like, isn't that always the rule? The one who lives pretty much the closest is, I'm just going to do one more thing before I...
So then you were sort of the go-to administrator.
What's that place?
You just you put your hand up.
So these people in the black outfits are literally doing safety inspections on the watercraft. That's what he was just saying, yeah. Wow. Wow.
Not bad. Yeah. There's
Well, everybody's had a good week?
sold. It's gonna be done as
Yeah.
of, like new.
Do we know
Had a
what-
Called the
listing
Greek guys
appointment
starting
today,
Right.
Where?
and
the Basils?
they're going
Right beside that
to
Thai place.
interview
It's sold.
2 other realtors. Oh,
Nice.
OMG.
And I said, well, you're welcome to a second and third
Oh, he
opinion.
does.
Yep.
You know what?
You simply
He's got,
will
he
not
must be the
find
most
a more
profitable of those guys. Like, they
hardworking
just come in that door
realtor.
and this is complete
So-
as
He's just got
Yep.
a nice.
The choice is up to you. And she said, well, we did call you first.
Right. I don't know if that was alphabetical or
I said, I
not.
wish you'd called me last.
Yes.
But anyway,
Call,
okay.
to get him to call again, and then you can be you can bring up the stern, so to speak.
Well,
Oh, you're on the back.
I
side
have in my favor that I sold
So you
the
don't really
last
have a retail
unit in her complex in less than 24 hours
Bam. Yeah.
for the highest price.
There you go.
So
Yeah. Now look at the Moreno over here, looking really serious behind the camera. In the shade. He's not having much fun, are you?
Most people want to meet you.
Not having. Okay, there you go. There you go. There you go. Bring it on.
Join the party.
Get silly.
Yeah, that's true.
Join us. Join us. He wants us to go to the camera.
Okay, well let's walk over there. Let's walk forward. Just what? Say what?
I don't want to.
Oh, I thought you said you're not allowed to. Erica, let's just walk up and grin and grin. Show those beautiful teeth. Let's just go over here in this direction. And look at this funny guy behind the camera here with different colored shoes.
I love that. So what is
silly,
the
silly,
purpose
silly.
here? What's your purpose for your shoes?
Hurry. I was in a rush.
Okay.
No.
That sounds like a good excuse. That sounds like a valid excuse.
Oh, they are two different.
Yeah, they're totally different. They're not just different colors.
So what if that gives you like an off balance when you walk?
Well, he has another pair like this just at home, don't you, somewhere?
Exactly.
Yeah. So what's the difference? As long as they both fit.
You'll balance out later.
I thought about doing this, but I've never done that. But maybe next time I go out.
It's so much easier to find the shoes to
Yeah.
wear.
A lefty and a righty.
They're there and they're there at the same time. Just
Cool.
switched.
That pair or that pair? Yeah, I like it. I like it more and more.
Both your lefts though.
Okay, Morano, you gotta wrap up because we gotta have our little safety call.
Aw, I can keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Nope.
Desiree, whenever you're ready. You're not still doing business, are you? On a Wednesday afternoon?
I know, it's just like
On
all,
a day like this?
it's just on the go all the time.
Okay.
Did we find the missing? Did we find the missing?
Yes, we got him. And then everyone else that's not here was not supposed to be here. So we're
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Somebody mentioned Lucy with a bit of worry.
Yeah, that's what I think she's not coming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
bailed. And no pun intended, because we're
Oh no.
going on the water.
No, not fun. Yeah.
Do you have you done much boating at all, or? Okay. So you know what a bailing bucket is, right? Yeah. Bailed. She's bailed. Okay.
I know.
Just so I can get started. So, pardon the background noise that was unexpected. And you got to improvise, right? Like being on a river in a canoe, you got to improvise.
Good point.
My name's Jay Lundy. I'm the founder of Voyageur Adventures, and we started this operation back in '97, and so that's 17 years. We worked with over 25,000 participants, both business, education, volunteers, executives, sport clubs, all kinds of groups. And what we do is we customize the trip to the group. And all of you, I understand, are now like independently wealthy entrepreneurs, right? Is that true?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So, I mean, it's great to work with such, successful people. And the thing about the canoes you're going to get into, they're part of a history. They're part of a history of a journey that brought Canada to where it is today. And it's the story of the Voyageurs. And I won't take a lot of time, but it's important. It's important for you to have a context of the canoe and why we do what we do. So I'm just going to start with this, and I'll get each of you, if you could, let's see, which way are we going here? That is United States, it's right. Right. Let's Greenland. All right. No, I'll get one for him.
Okay.
And then once we roll it, I'll get you
Coast to coast.
1 foot on each corner. Back up a bit, please.
A little more. A little more. The East Coast is over there. Just a bit more. There you go. There you go.
All right.
Don't get wet.
You put 1 foot on each.
Did we do this last time? I don't remember.
Yes.
Excellent. So
Maybe I sneezed and missed it.
move up here.
Maybe.
So this map is important because, of course, it's a map of this great country of
Canada's
Canada.
stretched like a rubber band.
Back in the day of the Voyageurs,
Don't let go, though. Don't let go. It's like we're talking about like a rubber band, right?
back in the day of
cold
the
in the United
Voyageurs, back in
Yeah,
the 1600s,
totally.
it was the fur trade that was really the defining enterprise at that time. And it wasn't a country yet. Of course, it was 1867, so almost 200 years later or more, 300 years. But in the meantime, when the Europeans came across the Atlantic, and they weren't looking for North America. North America was in their way. They were on their way to where?
Asia.
Asia, China, India. That's where the spices and the silks and all of that, that's where trade was happening. And trade is the essential economic driver. In business, trade is everything. You trade your expertise for people's dollars. You pay dollars for other people's expertise. And it's an ongoing trade. Back then it was the fur trade. And the fur trade was driven initially by the Hudson's Bay Company, founded May 2nd, 1670. To date, it is the oldest retail enterprise on earth that stayed in the same business. So it's 344 years old this year, May 2nd of this year.
That's older than General Electric, for God's sakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, I'm just doing the calculations.
They have a stranglehold on the fur trade, and the reason
Mary
this
Kay.
is important is because it talks about entrepreneurs.
Shocking.
The Hudson's Bay had a stranglehold on the fur trade because they were granted by Prince Rupert in England 2 million square miles, 2 million square kilometers, based on all the rivers that drained into the Hudson's Bay, all the lands that were touched by rivers that drained into Hudson's Bay. And that represented a substantial land base. Their strategy was take these big frigates, sailing vessels, sail them across and establish forts on the edge of Hudson's Bay. First Nations would then go and trap the furs, bring them to the trading posts, and trade the furs for wool and metal and pots and flint and all these things. So because Europe was in the industrial or the early industrial age, North America and First Nations were not. And so the European technology, it was a huge advantage to be able to boil water in a metal pot. They hadn't gotten there yet. Wool, which didn't chafe like leather did. Cloth and weaving and things like that. So that's where trade and the Europeans were going, oh my God, these furs, where do you get them? Oh, they're everywhere. Really? Okay, we'll trade you this. And they're going, really? I go, yeah. It's like someone coming down and saying, an alien landing and coming out and saying, I'll give you an infinite power supply, but all I want is your used blue jeans. Really? Yeah, so it's a fair trade, right? Like that's where trade happens. Old blue jeans, we can get you lots. So that's how the fur trade happened. However, they had a monopoly, and this monopoly was finally broken in 1721 by the Northwest Company. And the Northwest Company had a totally different approach because they couldn't come in through Hudson's Bay. Now, the First Nations were humping their furs 500 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers, hiking them into these forts, trading them, and then carrying them all the way back to their village. The Northwest Company came along and said, you know what, we're going to do things differently. We're going to build these big canoes based on the Algonquin design, which was normally about 18 feet. They stretched it out to 35 feet. It was basically a canoe freighter, a freighter canoe. And they posted themselves out of Montreal. Crews of voyageurs of up to 10, maybe 11, would paddle these canoes filled with trade goods, pots and cloth and beads and stuff, paddle up the Ottawa, the Mattawa, over to Georgian Bay, paddle across the Great Lakes to a big fort here, Fort William, which is now Thunder Bay. And then those trade goods would be taken by slightly smaller canoes, 25 feet, still substantial, up into the northwest of the country. And that's why it was called the Northwest Company. That's where the better furs were. It was colder, and therefore the furs were more dense. Now, these canoes now are coming up into this area, and they're arriving at the front doors of these First Nations villages with the trade goods. Now, they were a little more expensive, but what would you do if you were First Nations? Say, I see that, I like it, but you know what, I'd rather hump this 1,000 kilometers this way.
And get
you think they would just do trade right there?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that was changing the game. That was such a huge game changer it's called customer service. Really, they paddled the trade goods right to the village. That strategy alone was so successful, it captured 80% of the fur trade away from the Hudson's Bay Company. Suddenly, people just weren't showing up, and they're going, well, what happened? Well, it was a game changer. And then they found out about the Northwest Company. Okay, well, now the game's on. And so the fur trade slowly marched. Northwest would build a fort here, and Hudson's Bay would build a fort here, and then on and on and on, all the way over to the Rockies. When it came to BC, there are remnants of the Voyageurs, because we do have a fort, Fort Langley, 1821. Oh no, sorry, 1865. But anyway, regardless, the Northwest Company was the more adventurous. It was the more entrepreneurial. It was they were more greater risk takers, kind of like entrepreneurs, really. And they were stretching out beyond the Rockies, but they didn't do trade out here. They got out here. They went down the Fraser, and that was wild ass. I mean, can you imagine?
You just made a funny face when you said the Fraser. Why is that?
Well, because who's the Fraser named after?
That guy.
Who's the guy that is named after?
Simon?
Simon Fraser. What connection to the fur trade might he have? He was an employee of the Northwest Company.
Oh.
Mackenzie River, Mackenzie Delta up this way. Who was that named after? Any guesses?
Mackenzie.
Alexander Mackenzie.
Al Mackenzie, right?
Al Mackenzie. Oh, you know him on his first name basis.
Big Al.
It's a microbrewery, isn't it?
Alexander Mackenzie, employee of the Northwest Company. Thompson River, named after David Thompson, another employee. Now, trade wasn't going to go back this way because it's tough sledding going that way up the Rockies. So they got out here and then realized, you know what, we'll just bring the big ships around. That's where George Vancouver, that gang came around. The Cape of Good Hope, or I think that's it, at South America. And then, so they were doing the trade much like out here with the big boats. But so Canada was basically founded on business, on partnerships and relationships. We didn't, like the US, conquer our way across the land. We married our way, we talked our way, and we traded our way across the country. And it's a very different relationship that we have with our First Nations in the US or Australia or others. And so it's important that you know that, because these canoes they're identical replicas, except they're made of fiberglass, but they're dimensionally the same. They're capable of holding 8,000 pounds of people in gear.
Wow.
That's the equivalent of 3 Honda Civics. So they're super safe. They're going to be the safest craft you've ever been in. They're very nimble. Yeah. And I'd love to have the opportunity to have you experiment with some of the steering and get you in the back and that kind of thing. So today what we're going to do is we're going to get out in the canoes and we're going to talk about this as a journey. This journey that you're on as an entrepreneur is not any different than the journey that the Northwest Company went on. They had to be responsive, they had to be resourceful, they had to be committed, and they had to have courage, and all of that. But what was important was the team of voyageurs that could count on one another. So these folks, they worked hard and they played hard. They burn an average of 6,000 to 7,000 calories a day. Wow. The average Olympic athlete, when they're in training, burns about 7,000 calories a day. So these guys, from Montreal to Fort William, was a 6-week journey. 1 million paddle strokes, one way in 6 weeks. And then what would happen is at Fort William, the furs that these guys traded would be down, and they'd swap trade goods for furs, and then they'd paddle the furs back that way, and then out they'd go to Europe. And that's sort of the big backdrop. But one thing I want to point out before we move on to getting into life jackets and stuff, other than white, what 2 colors do you see a lot of in this picture?
Green and blue. Green and blue.
Green and blue. Now, if any of you have read Jared Diamond's book, Guns, Germs, and Steel, this is important because this story could not have happened without these particular conditions. So the canoes themselves came from an Algonquin design. before I do that, now the blue is you know, of course, the water, rivers, lakes, and seas. Here's a pop quiz, and Louise knows the answer to this one because we did this last year. If you know the answer, don't say it. Of all the water on Earth, all of it, including ice and ice caps, what percentage of it is fresh water, do you think?
Oh, it's like 11. It's really low.
So you say 11, any other guesses?
20.
You say 20?
I would say it's probably.
Saw this on
3%.
I think
9?
I'd say it's little. Like it's
3%.
He says 5. It's 2.
yeah.
2. Wow.
2% of all the water on the Earth.
I was
Maybe
close.
3 if you include
20.
the rain that's in the clouds. Maybe say 3%. Now, of that 3%, we'll take that as one whole total right now. What percentage of that fresh water lies within the boundaries of Canada?
95.
75.
65%.
Yeah, I'd like pushing it.
65% of the Earth's fresh water lies within the borders of Canada.
Sweet.
So that meant it's a built-in highway system. That's how they got around. They got around by these smaller canoes, but then these bigger canoes were used for travel and trade and freight. Now, another little tidbit. What were the canoes made of? Anyone know what these canoes would have been made of back then? Yeah. Birch bark. That would have been bark from birch trees. It was peeled off and then put around ribs, and very delicate, but they had
And
lots
stitched.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stitched. Now, does the birch tree, anybody know about birch trees? Do they like water?
No, they soak it up, don't they?
Yeah, they love water. They love water.
Yeah.
It's like a drinking
It's
straw.
a hydrophilic plant. They just, you don't put a birch tree anywhere near your
Right.
piping. They're just, so birch trees go from one side of our country to the other, and they live beside water. In other words, they live beside the highway. You can build your canoe as you go. You can fix it as you need to. Now the beaver, just, does it like water?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it lives a little. It lives on the water. In other words, so the highway system you're traveling on has beside it the materials you're making your vessel out of and the animal that you're trapping. All are in the same environment. And that's why the fur trade was able to happen, because you had the fresh water, the vegetation, the trees, and the animal that you're trapping. And that's how it went. So I find that a fascinating little snippet, and it's important, in your own business, when you think, what are the key things that need to come together for your business to work? What are your 3 elements? Is it intellectual capital? Is it suppliers? Is it a certain process you use? Whatever that may be, but you can see in this case that's what made for the fur trade. Any questions before I roll the map up about either what you notice, or if you have any inquiries?
Further on the racing theme, these guys like to have fun occasionally, I'm
Yes,
sure,
they
eh?
do. Yes.
And any 2 boats going in the same direction, it could be considered a race.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, they would do that, and I'll introduce a
No, I won't leave it alone.
But I'll introduce the stroke. We'll be doing activities inside the canoe.
Cool.
That what they did in the afternoon that kind of were competitive. So they worked hard and they played hard, like
Fall in
you.
the water, don't worry.
You work hard and you play hard, and at the end of today, you'll have a nice, you'll have a steady, you'll have work, but you won't be strained. You won't be strained. Well, Louise, tell us about last year's. Was it a lot of work? Uh-oh, wrong person to ask.
Yeah, wrong person to ask. No, I won't be stroking.
No.
What?
You were on it last year.
I'll be with my parasol in the back.
What were your thoughts in terms of the effort at the end? Were you burned out? Were you? No.
I managed to raise the glass. I had enough strength to raise it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well,
you showed us how to do it right and proper, as I recall,
Yes.
so that we weren't all doubled over in pain.
That's right, and I'll introduce the power stroke to you and some things. So now we're going on your journey, and it's just a ton of fun, and we're gonna just get out there and explore. We've got a wind against us, so not sure how far up the channel we'll get, and if you just hold on to that, but we'll do our very best. And I hope afterwards, if some are willing to grab a beer inside, it's always nice to, be able to do that.
Commiserate, yeah. Totally. I think we can plan on it.
Just, yeah, hang on. No, don't
Absolutely.
move. There we go.
Anybody have to rush away?
That's the not be ready to peak.
Yeah. That's the prize at the end of the day.
Surprise, that's what
Yeah.
we're going towards. This is just the,
So while
in the
you're waiting,
meantime.
the life jackets are here. The small mediums are here, and the large, extra large are there. Pick one that's appropriate for you.
Life jacket time.
Oh dear, really?
Are you getting snoozy?
I can swim.
Now these are small and medium, I think.
So my size?
I somehow doubt it.
Are these small, medium?
This is a super large. I'm probably going to float right out of it. I don't believe it. This one's labeled super large, and I'm not falling out of it.
Find a life
Yeah.
jacket that fits the sizes on the back, and grab a paddle. I'm just going to put this in the truck. So I just need you to grab a life jacket.
All right, we're in. We're in.
I'll take one of these.
I could use some of that. I swim like a rock. You a good swimmer?
Me and water, we do not get along.
Other than playtime, eh?
Other than playtime.
Yeah. I have a kindred spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feels kind of neat, doesn't it? Then now I know what the cops feel like.
Doesn't it kind of make
Yeah. They can strut. That's why they strut, don't they? Where do they go? Let's go show.
I think that's what it is. Nick, after that road, I just want to be like,
Yeah. Just show it off. Show it off. What do you say?
I'm ready.
If you fell down, would you bounce right back?
Probably not.
Probably hurt.
Probably just
hurt the
stay down
schnoz.
there. I'll just stay down. Someone rolled me.
I can't believe Moreno's not coming with us. What a day to be on the water. Oh, you gotta be kidding. He's just video recording the whole thing, and he's not coming with us?
no.
I can't believe it. Can't believe it.
That's like a little jacket.
So is this going to be the coolest thing? You won't stop talking about this for at least a couple of days.
I'm really excited
Good.
about this.
That's the way to do it.
Makes me now want to go paddleboarding.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to try that next.
Yeah. You don't actually fear water, do you?
No, I don't fear it.
No,
I
you're just.
I like to stay dry.
When I get really hot, like in this weather, I plunge and I get out and I dry off and I plunge. Yeah. And it's all about just maintaining the temperature.
That's all it is.
Yep.
But no, but I'm not afraid of it at all. So I would just.
He's not coming.
No. Oh, he's.
No, can you believe it?
What the hell?
Exactly. He's just being the most gracious, good guy, and he's not getting in the boat. I don't understand.
No, I'm ready. It doesn't matter.
I'm starting to warm up in here. I'm overheating. I'm overheating.
Just tuck that in here.
That's gonna hurt something. I don't.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's my half chair, half cushion.
Cool.
Smart. It's some exercise.
We're okay bringing cell phones, right?
Yep. The Ziploc bag.
We're not going overboard.
I think we got a couple falls to go over.
Planning on it.
Yeah.
I need everyone over here.
I had my stuff, or starting to go into a Ziploc bag that I tested.
Yes.
Did you?
Yeah.
Didn't really
Okay, I
test.
need
I hope it didn't go
everyone
over.
to come in. Louise, please.
I got like a really dinky one, like my keys.
Everyone grab a paddle, please.
That works.
One size fits all?
Paddle, please.
All the
Yep.
same.
Yep, all the same. And then
Thanks.
I need you to find a partner about the same size as you are.
Shall
Find
we?
a partner. Find a partner.
We're about the same.
Okay.
I don't know how this works. I'm scared now.
Don't be. There's nothing to be scared of.
It's hard.
No.
Can I ask we turn our cell phones off?
That is a great thought.
What are you, crazy?
That's a great thought.
Anyway, because it's just, you know, in the
Yeah. Let's get real. Is what you're trying to say.
that, it's just things take forever. Things take forever.
Yeah.
Not everybody's focused.
We can't take time out for.
You can just yell at us.
Okay, so does everyone have a partner about the same size as they are?
About a few inches.
Do you have a partner?
I'm not as powerful a paddler as you, I bet.
Oh, you didn't like trying to bring the. Oh, you missed that.
No. Okay, now in your partners, face me the way you are. That's right. Now in your pairs, line up behind these guys facing this way.
Our hot commodity.
In your pairs, line up behind these two.
Oh, okay.
Line up behind them.
So, yeah, okay, I get it.
We're the stroke.
You be the very back.
We'll follow our lead.
Okay, so now what I've done,
Nobody else is like doing
Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
just so you know, I've tried to balance the canoe side to side. Now I need to divide it between the very talented people and the very good-looking people. So the good-looking people have to be at the back.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Yep.
And the two of you, both of you.
You know what you are. You know what you are. No, you know what you are. Now, is that pairs or individuals?
Very talented.
We have to decide as a pair, we're a team? Good looking or talented? I think we're talented. Yeah, okay.
People
Sure,
in the middle
sure.
are both good-looking and
Oh, super, super, super.
reverse you guys.
I'm not the head or the tail.
We know where it's really at. Yeah.
You do, you do.
I don't know. More talented, less beautiful? I don't know. Hard to say. And then there's me in the back with no beauty or no talent. Oh. So now I'm going to
Oh,
give
yeah.
you your seat number. When we get to the canoe, this is the number. I'll point to it and say that's the seat you want to be in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everybody know? So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. That's all. Now there's 3 strokes, very simple strokes. There's the forward stroke. Now if you're on the right hand side, your right hand is approximately here on the paddle. So just do this with me on the right hand side. If you're on the right hand side of the canoe. All right, if you're on the left hand side of the canoe, your left hand is at the base.
I'm slow, but I get there.
Right, so back to the right. If you're on the right, then your right hand is at the base and your left hand goes over the top. You don't want to be holding it like this or like this. This is because, and if you're on the left side, your left hand and your right hand's here. Because when you're paddling, you're both pulling and you're pushing down. You're pulling and you're pushing down. That's the forward stroke. Now the back stroke is just the opposite. You're reaching back and you're pushing water forward. All right. The third stroke you need to know is called the draw. Very simple. The draw is nothing more than you turn and reach out. And you don't reach out like this, because if you go to do a paddle stroke, you're just pushing the canoe up. You reach out as far with this top hand and pull water towards the hull on each side. So you're reaching way out, the canoe won't tip. And when I say draw, then you draw. Now the way we'll work it is, so far, this half is the front half, this half is the back half. I may say front right, which is you, front right draw, or front left draw, or back right draw, or back left draw. So you know, so front right, raise your hands. No, you're back left.
That was a setup.
Yeah, exactly. Front left, raise your hands. Back right, raise your hands. Back left, raise your hands. Perfect. Now we know who we are and we know the strokes. We're ready to get out and get out on the water and get on our journey.
Let's get wet.
Sludge.
I was over at Suterbrook heading back from Coquitlam and I could smell the salt water and it was like, oh my God, there it is. There it is.
Where did Desiree go now?
We're okay with being on this side? Is that
Good question. Ladies' room? It's a good thing to know Bronson has my back.
yeah. The red carpet?
Where? Oh, is that what it looks like?
You remember?
I've
Oh.
never seen it before.
I've never seen it like that.
When we were raw oysters. From Fanny.
And you're still alive and King.
Well, they were just a little bit pink.
There's Desiree.
You're my little children, my little ducklings. Is that why you have two balls?
That's a hot shot.
Smacking the
Okay.
You don't voice those opinions.
All right. So who's in seat one? Which pair is in seat one?
Myself and Desiree, she was trying to wash it. Show me over.
And you can step in right now.
Yeah. I think the policy's okay if you're over the edge. We found that out already.
Now, so everyone knows, when people are getting in, it's a good idea to just brace them too. It's very safe, so you're gonna just need to step in there.
So
Go ahead,
step in
just
there,
step,
not on
step,
the...
no, don't step on the seat. There you go, and just climb over the seats.
H2O.
Choose left or right. Who's in seat two?
Yeah!
Right here, beige, first beige seat.
Lefty or righty?
Ready.
I know in the formation we were
So
I was a lefty.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
There you go, just step. There we go. Now the canoe is more lively.
I think you said that one.
No, the beige one. The first beige one.
Oh! All right.
You guys staggered.
And sit out to the left and right. Go to the edge of your butt. It's actually touching the gun. There you go. Who's in seat four? Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm almost up the creek without a paddle.
So seat three, that's right. So seat three will be in the middle here.
Here she comes, here she comes. Yeah, I know, my temperature's rising like crazy.
I'm like, hey, queen of the world.
Yeah.
Okay. You gotta step like on.
No, it's one of the
Do you want to come in here and, or,
Can I step
So you
right
want
on
to sit to
that?
the left and right.
I have to step all the way from here to
Or
there.
left or right. Okay, good.
Wait till he.
here.
Just.
I'm just thinking at third here. Seat four, fine. 4, 5, and 6, because you always weighted more in the back. There you go.
Crap, I still got the mic on.
Oh, do you?
Marino, I'm still wired here. I'm wearing a wire still. And that's okay.
There we go.
I guess eventually it'll
And
So-
you know what? You guys can
lose
move up
connection.
to this stage right
On the
here.
water, except
Yep. Just get.
That wouldn't be pretty. It might be funny, but it wouldn't be pretty.
That's it. Perfect. And
Everybody's got these long things with red ends.
What's that all about?
Yeah. And I'm not up a creek. I'm just
yeah.
close.
So hey guys, have fun.
Thanks,
Good to talk to you. And
We'll probably bring it back one piece.
yeah.
Got an extra paddle.
Please hold on to the dock. If you're in the middle, hold on to the dock.
Got an extra paddle.
Yes. Well, there's paddles here. Oh yeah, we got extra paddles in the back. I'll get you one. So I have an initial concern because I'm not seeing everybody listen. And now we're on the water and it's about safety first. So I said 3 times now, you have to be sitting right to the edge so your ass is touching the gunnel. Okay, that means
One way to put it.
So again, I don't see that. I need your ass right up to the edge. So move your knee. There we go. That way the canoe is going to be as balanced as possible. And Louise, you can choose whichever side you wish. So now I'll get your paddle, and I think we're in good shape. We're evenly distributed.
super duper. Are you going to be sitting there?
No, that'll be open. So now,
Aging Merino. We're casting off Merino.
so as far as, yeah, if you could just hang on to the, so as far as rolls go, the 2 up front set the pace. When their hand is
Wicked.
up in their paddle stroke, if you could just pass me that. So they're going to be, on the left, they're going to be stroking like this. Now, when you see their hand up to the top, your hand should be at the top of your stroke. So we all
Otherwise, we're going click,
aim
click,
for
click, click, click.
top stroke at the same time. And then we just count to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll do a bunch of other fun things. So that's it. We're ready to go, and I'll get a paddle.
Pacemakers. Trickery, like, oh
Yeah,
no.
but we're gonna rotate, so you better be taking notes. Yeah. Thank you.
Now, how is everybody doing as far as hunger goes? You guys okay?
You got pemmican?
No, I didn't bring any. Yvonne, was there any snack?
Things in the back there, I think.
There are?
Oh, cool. Cool.
Just a few things. Sorry if
You're just like a guardian angel, aren't you?
hardly.
Yeah.
I try.
Some energy.
Hasn't she done a great job? Yeah.
I try. I like it. There's not a whole lot, but I don't like it.
You're so pretty.
Can't see. My eyes are so sensitive to light. Like it's the worst. I'm like, even though I have sunglasses on.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna drop my paddle.
Push off the dock.
All right. Now, I'll just simply give you a command and it'll be like this. I'll say, Voyageurs, prepare to paddle. And that means you put your paddle blade up, ready to paddle. And I'll say, en avant, which is facing forward. Voyageurs, prepare to paddle. En avant!
You two need to be in sync too. was wondering. I still wondered. Hey! We still getting anything? Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, really?
There
we go. And if someone could pass me that rope.
Well, what a team building, bonding experience that was.
I'd say.
It's not over yet.
And it's not over yet.
Yeah, no, we've still got the closing. I've got a little memento for you, and okay, so now you can each get out off of your individual seats except with one rule. As this side steps off, just the other half goes to the middle of the seat. So if your partner steps up, just slide to the middle of the seat. Woo. There you go, because we want to keep it balanced. We want to take everything out. Any life jacket that you have, we need all the buckles.
Come on back here, actually. Be
I think that's okay.
better, unless you, well, you got long legs.
Yeah. 7 3/4, remember?
A mast step. A mast step.
Yeah?
Yeah, that would be cool.
I know, right?
You can buckle the life jackets up on the grass. Got a little closing, and then we'll bring the tool over and
Then you need a hand or you good?
That'll be good, thank you.
Paddles, big one? Here, need the paddles.
Thanks.
Right, that's right.
Good thing somebody's awake.
Sorry today.
Is this yours, Glenn?
Yep. Necessities of life.
you want that paddle? No, you can leave it there. Well, those 2 paddles will be needed to paddle it over to the trailer.
Tell me all about you guys' Voyageur Adventure. Is that
Close.
close enough?
What's she telling you?
It's 5 to 7. Party time. I mean, celebration time. Well, how's everything feel?
Good. That was fun.
It was. A lot of it's magical when something starts taking off, and I forgot all about it.
Forget about what?
It's nursing.
This,
Okay.
which is not a bad thing.
No, you do well. Very well.
So tell me, before I kind of wrap up, like, how was that for you? Was that a good experience? Did that work for you?
Awesome.
You're a tremendous voyager.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not trying to be. I'm more importantly, like, are you guys having a good time? That's, you know.
Anybody not have a good time? Like,
One with the ocean.
You are?
I felt one with the ocean.
Oh, good.
And the whale?
nicely said.
Yeah.
We saw a whale.
Just for the record, can we just say we saw a whale?
Sorta. Yeah, we got to be unanimous on this. Not, it's not sorta, maybe.
With a blowhole.
Yeah.
Blowholes.
Can it, just kind of going around, what was there a moment that stood out for you? Was there anything that just went, wow, this is interesting or different or surprising? Or was there, you did it last year. Was there anything this time that was that jumped out?
Felt more cohesive. I think it was because we were all in the same boat.
Yes.
Which is like really coming together as a group.
So
Really the biggest.
that's an interesting point. Better with more than one boat or just one? I wonder.
liked it in one.
Glenn wanted to race.
Well, that's true at the beginning, but I'm not sorry now.
Well, you did have your internal competition between the two, front and back. If the front would paddle. From the last time we bring beers.
Yeah, right. The cooler. That cooler.
Talk later. Next year. Next year.
Yeah.
No points off of Yvonne, but
Well, like I
she
said,
is new.
It was great, but I can't believe I didn't learn from the last time I drank beer this time.
Right. Slow learner.
2 years in between. Time dulls.
We even like were emailing before. What should we bring?
But I sent it what to bring list, but it didn't include beer and things like that. You know.
That's okay. This will be very, very well preserved. My mouth is watering already.
There we go.
French Irish.
Any comments?
Gonna have a beer and a glass of wine.
What a surprise.
Yeah, that's right. Both hands. Right.
We're just going around the circle right now, just checking in with people.
I just enjoyed the view of the house.
Yeah.
The architecture.
I'd never seen that myself. First time I'd been on that beach.
Yeah, that side was really nice. It was a good call. Yeah. You know what? I like the shorter trip.
Yeah.
I know much.
You worked hard to get to it and didn't leave much time to relax and chill and
have a great discussion.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I really enjoyed it all. I liked how knowledgeable, and I learned something very good.
A little bit of history. You probably know more than 90% of Canadians
I
now.
bet you I do.
Yep.
I already did before.
Time to play trivia.
And I really enjoyed like everything. I liked how you related everything back to business.
Good.
And what you taught, like we learned how to work better as teams. And I enjoyed getting to know everybody's kind of background.
Oh, that's
I enjoyed your hard time.
That's good. And you know what?
Totally in sync.
Not everyone could see what we were doing.
And you know what? You were only out for 2.5 hours. You were only out for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't there last time, but I definitely appreciate the not too much paddling and more beach.
Yeah.
Eating.
Awesome.
More chill.
I'm gonna appreciate this part even more.
That's right.
Kind of, a little bit of everybody what they're saying.
Yeah.
I just like really being closer to those houses than on this side, like last year. I do remember, or 2 years. It wasn't last year. 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh,
Amazing.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a good 2 years.
Last year
Wow.
was something else.
I must have blinked.
Oh, that was last year you did the new Jello wrestling.
Yes. Pants off.
I must have tried to block that out.
That was frowned upon by some people.
Yeah. Laura Leone.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Paul.
I just, we were blessed, just so to be out there on a day like this is where we live. This is it.
I know, it's true. The canoes really do bring out that aspect when you're at the water line. Yeah. Thoughts?
Love being out in the water, out doing something a little physical, getting the juices flowing, good conversation, good people,
Yeah.
history.
Oh, nice.
I like it all. Yeah, it's
Oh, good. Thoughts?
This is nice, like the last 2 weeks have been really painful. Nothing personal, just really like frustrating and work-wise.
Yeah.
And to just get out there and you'd have the thing that you said about the 5 things you need to do. Like I read that book too, and you forget though, right? You sort of need to be reminded. The sort of process of being reminded of something that you you believe in, right?
Yes, that's right.
And then have a few minutes to like kind of paced exercise.
Yeah, you're
It's kind of a
absolutely
neat
right.
experience for that.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat to do the little sort of talk about something and then do a little work and then talk about something else.
Yeah.
So
The
that's
pace,
cool.
you like the pace.
Yeah, totally.
Good.
Yeah. And agreeing with a lot of things have been said already, but sweet moment and time and place to sure beats all the last Wednesdays I've had. Wednesday afternoons I've been doing. And I don't mean lunch, but I mean after that's over. You couldn't have a better Wednesday afternoon than this.
No, that's great.
That's at least a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
So,
well, I want to leave
well played.
I want to leave you with something, and it's called Voyageur. Voyageur Code. Now, this is what we did is we captured the essence of the journey in a code that you can remember for yourself on your
I say we
own.
raise our dues and do more of this stuff.
Okay, and we're gonna just go around and
Just for $5 a month or something?
Yeah.
Has in Squamish.
There we go.
I'll take one for Yvonne as well if you...
No, I've got one here.
You got one there?
Oh,
Good.
no, actually, there you go. That's it.
Perfect.
Now, so I'm going to read. We're just go around the circle and just read one. And this evolved over the years. That what are the lessons that the voyageurs can teach us about today? Because that's what matters. You leave, and what can you remember? There might be a piece of the code that jumps out at you, but I'll start. The Voyageur Code: embrace adventure,
Commit to the journey.
Explore the unknown. Expect adversity. Keep alert to what's ahead.
We're at respond. Respond to changing.
Oh, totally.
Look out for each
That was
other.
Freudian.
No, but,
Yeah.
oh no, sorry. Trust your crew with Paul's next.
I said trust your crew.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
Ask for help.
Quick.
Expect it.
Communicate.
Carry your weight.
Yeah, Desiree.
Yeah, carry your weight, Desiree. We should write that in.
Insert here. Insert.
Stay focused while drinking beer.
Persevere.
Lead by example. Master your responsibilities.
Paddle with a light heart. Salute achievement.
Learn from the journey.
Be grateful.
One paddle stroke at a time.
It's all just one paddle stroke at a time. I remember when I hiked the Himalayas. I was in a very small group, and the guy just said, you just have to agree to two things to make it to the top. Get along and put one foot in front of the other, and you'll get to the top. And so here's Yvonne. I know I was waiting, but I didn't want to wait.
Here, Yvonne.
So it's okay.
20 push-ups.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we've all done ours.
Just as we wrap up, is there anything on this code for you individually that jumps out that go, oh, I like that, or that means
Ask
something?
for help.
Ask for help, yeah. Anyone else?
Salute achievement.
Yeah.
Well, my wife would say
Grateful as
communicate.
well.
There we go. Be grateful. Be grateful, yeah.
Yep.
Each of these
More gratitude.
code items will come out for you at different times. So we run the company on this code with our guides. If something goes sideways on a project, it's somewhere in this code. Someone didn't listen, someone wasn't responding to changing currents, they didn't master the responsibilities, whatever. Or if it works, it's for these reasons. So this is just something to go forward with in your own entrepreneurial life, in your family life, in your volunteer work. And I just salute you as a fellow volunteer, a fellow entrepreneur myself. And I can tell you more about what we do with Voyageur Adventures. It's one of 3 companies under the Horizon Group. We have Spark Innovation that teaches collaborative problem solving, Voyageur Adventures that does experiential learning, which is what you did today. And then we have Eagle Valley Retreat, which is a 7-acre, 10-room lodge north of Squamish for planning and learning. So I can tell you more about that, but it's been a pleasure. I'm really happy you got me out on the water today. So hands off to you. Nice. Thank you.
That's a good day.
And thank you to Yvonne for organizing that.
3 cheers. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
Have on the shoulders, you carry her in.
But you know what? I do have some fun news. Today you don't have my reservation. So he's there earlier. Yeah, so he's trying to see what they can do. So I'm just waiting for him to call me back.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, in the meantime,
We could sit in the general vicinity.
They're okay with serving us out here.
You know what?
The cart.
That's yeah.
That's funny because I thought of it when we first got here.
I have to pack up for Canoe.
Yeah, and then
Oh, poor guy. Daniel.
another rough day.
What a terrible week you're having. Terrible. Terrible.
But I'm worried.